When you talk about actors who don't just perform but completely transform into every role they touch, the name Lili Taylor stands out as a rare force of authenticity in Hollywood, a woman whose journey is not built on flashy headlines or constant spotlight, but on deep, emotional, unforgettable performances that stay with audiences long after the screen fades to black. And her story begins not with instant fame or overnight success, but with a steady, determined climb fueled by passion, discipline, and a fearless willingness to take on roles that others might shy away from. Born in Glencoe, Illinois, Lili Taylor grew up in a large family where creativity and individuality were quietly nurtured, and from an early age she showed signs of a deep emotional intelligence that would later become her greatest strength as an actress. Instead of chasing traditional paths to fame, she focused on honing her craft, studying theater and immersing herself in the art of storytelling, which gave her a strong foundation that many mainstream actors often lack. And this dedication quickly began to reflect in her early performances, where even in smaller roles she managed to command attention with her raw and genuine presence. Her breakthrough came during the late 1980s and early 1990s when independent cinema was starting to rise, and she became one of the defining faces of that movement, starring in films that prioritized storytelling over spectacle, emotion over glamour, and truth over perfection. And what made Lili Taylor truly different was her refusal to conform to Hollywood's traditional expectations of what a leading lady should be. She didn't chase roles that were safe or predictable. Instead, she chose characters that were complex, flawed, and deeply human. Whether it was portraying vulnerability, strength, fear, or resilience, she brought a level of honesty that made audiences feel like they weren't just watching a performance but experiencing a real life unfolding in front of them. And this ability became her signature, setting her apart in an industry often driven by surface-level appeal. As her career progressed, she continued to build an impressive body of work across film, television, and theater, appearing in critically acclaimed projects where her performances were often described as haunting, powerful, and deeply moving. She worked alongside some of the most respected filmmakers and actors, yet she never allowed herself to be overshadowed or lost in the background. Instead, she consistently delivered performances that demanded attention without ever feeling forced or exaggerated. One of the most remarkable aspects of her journey is her consistency in an industry where many careers rise and fall rapidly. Lili Taylor has maintained a steady presence for decades, proving that true talent doesn't need constant reinvention or controversy to stay relevant. It simply needs dedication and authenticity. And her role in projects like The Conjuring introduced her to a new generation of audiences, showing that even in mainstream horror she could bring depth and emotional weight that elevated the entire film. But beyond her on-screen achievements, what makes her story truly inspiring is her approach to life and career. She has always prioritized meaningful work over fame, substance over popularity, and this mindset has allowed her to build a career that is not only successful but also deeply fulfilling. She has never been afraid to step away from the spotlight when needed, to focus on personal growth, family, or theater work, which reflects a level of self-awareness and balance that is rare in the entertainment industry, and this balance has played a crucial role in her longevity, allowing her to continue evolving as an artist without burning out or losing her sense of purpose. Her performances often explore themes of identity, struggle, resilience, and transformation, making her not just an actress but a storyteller who gives voice to experiences that are often overlooked. And this ability to connect with audiences on such a deep level is what makes her truly unforgettable. She reminds us that acting is not just about entertainment. It's about understanding humanity, about stepping into someone else's life, and bringing their story to light with honesty and respect. And for aspiring actors, her journey offers a powerful lesson that success doesn't always come from following the crowd. Sometimes it comes from quietly building your own path, staying true to your values, and trusting your instincts even when the world pushes you in a different direction. Lili Taylor's career is proof that you don't need to be the loudest voice in the room to be heard. Sometimes the most powerful impact comes from authenticity, from subtlety, from the courage to be real in a world that often rewards imitation. And as the years go by, her legacy continues to grow, not just as an actress, but as a symbol of integrity and artistic dedication. She represents a different kind of success. One that is not measured by awards or box office numbers, but by the depth of connection she creates with her audience, by the honesty she brings to every role, and by the quiet yet undeniable influence she has had on the industry. And in a world constantly chasing the next big thing, Lili Taylor stands as a reminder that true greatness is timeless. It doesn't fade. It doesn't need constant validation. It simply exists, strong, steady, and unforgettable, just like her performances. And as her journey continues, what becomes even more fascinating about Lili Taylor is not just the roles she has played, but the choices she has deliberately avoided, because in an industry where many actors chase visibility at any cost, she has consistently chosen depth over exposure, purpose over popularity. And this rare discipline has allowed her to craft a career that feels almost timeless, untouched by trends or fleeting fame. And as new generations of actors emerge, many unknowingly follow a path she helped shape, one where independent storytelling is valued, where characters are allowed to be imperfect, and where performances are driven by truth rather than spectacle. And if you look closely, you'll notice that her influence stretches far beyond her own filmography, quietly inspiring a shift in how stories are told and how characters are portrayed, especially in independent cinema where authenticity is everything. And it is this quiet influence that makes her legacy so powerful, because it doesn't scream for attention, it simply exists, shaping the industry from within. And as she transitioned into television with remarkable performances in shows like 6 Feet Under and later American Crime, she once again proved her versatility, showing that her talent was not confined to a single medium but could thrive anywhere storytelling demanded emotional truth. And her work in these series brought her critical acclaim and introduced her to audiences who may have missed her earlier film work, reinforcing the idea that true talent always finds its way to the surface, no matter the platform. And what makes her television performances so compelling is the same quality that defines her film work: a deep emotional honesty that makes every scene feel real, every moment feel lived in, and every character feel human. And this consistency is not accidental. It is the result of years of dedication to her craft, of constantly challenging herself, of refusing to become complacent, and of always seeking roles that push her boundaries rather than comfort her. And perhaps one of the most inspiring aspects of her journey is her resilience, because like any artist, she has faced moments of uncertainty, roles that didn't land, projects that didn't succeed, and periods where the industry's spotlight shifted elsewhere. But instead of chasing relevance, she remained grounded, trusting her path, continuing to work, continuing to grow, and this quiet resilience is what truly defines her, not just as an actress but as a person, because it takes immense strength to stay true to yourself in an environment that constantly pressures you to change. And through it all, she has remained authentic, never losing sight of why she started, never compromising her values for temporary success. And this authenticity is what audiences feel when they watch her. Even if they can't quite put it into words, there is something real, something deeply human in her performances that resonates on a level beyond entertainment. And as time moves forward, her body of work continues to stand as a testament to what is possible when talent meets integrity, when passion meets discipline, and when an artist chooses to stay true to their vision no matter what. And for anyone watching her journey from the outside, whether an aspiring actor, a creative individual, or simply someone searching for inspiration, her story offers a powerful reminder that success is not always loud. It is not always immediate, and it is not always visible to everyone. Sometimes it is quiet, steady, and deeply personal, built over years of dedication and shaped by choices that prioritize meaning over recognition. And in a world that often celebrates speed and visibility, Lili Taylor's journey teaches us the value of patience, of authenticity, and of staying grounded in who you are, because in the end, it is not about how quickly you rise, but about how deeply you impact, how honestly you create, and how true you remain to yourself. And that is a legacy that doesn't just fade with time. It grows stronger, more meaningful, and more inspiring with every passing year. And as we go even deeper into the journey of Lili Taylor, what truly begins to stand out is not just her resilience or her talent, but her almost fearless relationship with vulnerability, something that many actors spend their entire careers trying to master yet never fully achieve.